Imagine a connection where passion meets trust, where desire flows freely, and yet both partners feel completely safe. That's not just a dream, it's the reality of healthy intimacy, consent, and confidence. True intimacy begins with respect. When you and your partner communicate openly, every yes feels empowered and every no is honored. Confidence isn't just attractive, it's the foundation of passion. Safety enhances pleasure, protection isn't just responsible, it's sexy. Knowing your sexual health status, using protection, and taking care of each other ensures that your connection is free from worry and entirely focused on pleasure and exploration. Emotional awareness. Healthy intimacy is about more than physical touch, it's emotional resonance. Listen deeply, express yourself honestly, and watch how desire and trust grow hand in hand. The power of self-love. Before you can truly connect with someone else, you must connect with yourself. Loving your body, your mind, your desires, it all translates into bolder, more authentic intimacy. Breaking myths. Forget the stories society tells you about what's normal or perfect. Real intimacy is messy, exciting, and uniquely yours. Embrace curiosity, experiment safely, and celebrate pleasure in all its forms. Communication is seduction. Talk about your fantasies, your boundaries, your desires. Communication is the ultimate aphrodisiac. It builds trust, heightens anticipation, and makes every intimate moment unforgettable. Closing. So remember, intimacy is not just about passion. It's about safety, respect, and emotional connection. When you combine all these elements, you create a space that's not only safe and sexy, but unforgettable. Your relationships, your pleasure, and your confidence will thank you. Healthy intimacy begins with understanding the power and importance of consent. Consent is not simply a checkbox or a routine phrase. It is a reflection of self-respect, mutual understanding, and confidence in oneself and in the connection shared with a partner. When someone feels comfortable saying yes or no, it signifies that they are aware of their own boundaries, desires, and limits, and that they are empowered to communicate them without fear of judgment or pressure. This sense of confidence transforms the entire experience of intimacy, turning it into a shared journey of trust rather than a transactional or one-sided encounter. Clear communication is at the heart of consent. Being able to articulate what feels good, what is acceptable, and what is off limits creates a foundation where both partners feel valued and heard. It is not enough to assume that consent is implied or to rely solely on nonverbal cues. Speaking openly about boundaries and preferences is a sign of strength, not awkwardness. This dialogue fosters emotional intimacy and strengthens trust because each person knows that their feelings and choices are respected. When both parties are confident in expressing themselves, the connection deepens and every shared moment becomes richer and more meaningful. Confidence in consent also means recognizing the right to change one's mind at any time. Saying no or pausing an activity does not signify weakness or rejection. It signifies awareness and self-respect. Similarly, being attentive and responsive to a partner's shifting comfort levels is an expression of care and emotional intelligence. By honoring these boundaries consistently, both partners create an environment where desire and safety coexist seamlessly. Moreover, consent as confidence extends beyond physical boundaries. It encompasses emotional and psychological safety as well. Trusting that your partner will respect your limits allows vulnerability to flourish, and vulnerability, in turn, enhances intimacy. Understanding that consent is a shared responsibility empowers both individuals to take ownership of their needs and respect each other's autonomy. In this way, consent becomes more than a necessary step. It becomes a celebration of self-awareness, mutual respect, and the courage to connect authentically and passionately. Healthy intimacy is not complete without confidence, and confidence is not complete without consent. They are intertwined, forming the foundation of every meaningful, safe, and deeply satisfying connection. Safety and pleasure are not opposites. In fact, they enhance each other. Protecting your physical and emotional well-being is not just responsible. It makes intimacy more fulfilling, freeing, and deeply satisfying. When both partners take steps to ensure safety, every touch, every kiss, and every shared moment becomes more relaxed and more pleasurable because worry and fear are replaced with trust and confidence. Knowing that you are protecting yourself from sexually transmitted infections, unwanted pregnancies, or emotional harm allows you to be fully present in the experience, to savor connection without distractions or anxiety. This awareness transforms intimacy from something cautious or tentative into something bold, confident, and, yes, undeniably sexy. Using protection is one of the most practical ways to safeguard yourself and your partner. Condoms, dental dams, and other forms of protection are not signs of distrust or insecurity. They are expressions of care and respect for both individuals involved. Being informed about sexual health basics, such as knowing your status and understanding how to reduce risks, empowers you to make choices that enhance enjoyment rather than limit it. This preparation allows intimacy to be playful and adventurous while maintaining the peace of mind that comes with safety. Emotional safety is just as critical as physical safety. Trust, clear communication, and mutual respect create a secure environment where vulnerability is welcomed rather than feared. When partners feel safe to express desires, fears, or boundaries, intimacy becomes more profound and satisfying. This emotional security is what makes passion feel deeper, connection feel stronger, and the overall experience more memorable. Without it, even the most physical acts of intimacy can feel hollow, disconnected, or tense. Ultimately, prioritizing safety is an act of empowerment. It demonstrates self-respect and awareness while signaling care and respect for your partner. It shifts the focus from anxiety about potential risks to the joy of shared exploration. Safety does not diminish desire, it amplifies it. Feeling protected allows people to let go, to fully engage in their desires, and to connect in ways that are both thrilling and secure. By embracing both physical and emotional safety, intimacy becomes not just an act of closeness, but a celebration of confidence, pleasure, and mutual care. Emotional intelligence is one of the most powerful tools for creating a meaningful and fulfilling relationship. It goes beyond simply understanding your own feelings. It involves being attuned to your partner's emotions, recognizing their needs, and responding with empathy and care. When you can sense what your partner is experiencing, whether joy, stress, or vulnerability, you create an environment of safety and trust. This awareness allows both individuals to feel seen, heard, and valued, forming the foundation for deeper intimacy. Emotional intelligence transforms ordinary interactions into moments of connection, where every word, gesture, and touch resonates with understanding and attentiveness. Expressing your own needs openly is just as important as recognizing your partner's. Honest communication about what you want, what makes you feel loved, or what challenges you are facing prevents misunderstandings and fosters closeness. When both partners are transparent about their desires and boundaries, they build a dynamic of mutual respect and trust. Sharing emotions is not a sign of weakness, it is an act of courage that strengthens the relationship. Vulnerability becomes an instrument for intimacy, allowing desire to flourish in a space where both partners feel safe to express themselves without judgment. Emotional awareness also deepens the physical aspect of intimacy. When you are attuned to subtle cues such as body language, tone of voice, or expressions of discomfort or pleasure, you can respond in ways that heighten connection and desire. Sensitivity to emotions transforms touch into communication and shared experiences into lasting memories. It encourages patience, understanding, and adaptability, all of which are essential for sustaining a passionate and healthy relationship. Moreover, cultivating emotional intelligence helps navigate conflicts with maturity and compassion. Disagreements become opportunities to understand each other better rather than sources of resentment. By managing emotions, listening actively, and responding thoughtfully, partners can resolve tension without eroding trust or closeness. In the end, emotional intelligence is the glue that holds relationships together. It turns mere companionship into partnership, infuses passion with depth, and allows intimacy to thrive on both emotional and physical levels. The ability to understand, communicate, and empathize creates bonds that are not only satisfying but profoundly transformative, making every connection richer, stronger, and more meaningful. Healthy intimacy cannot flourish without a strong foundation of self-love. Before seeking deep connections with others, it is essential to cultivate respect, care, and appreciation for yourself. Loving yourself means understanding your worth, embracing your strengths and flaws, and honoring your own needs and desires. When you approach relationships with this sense of self-respect, you enter them from a place of confidence rather than dependence, creating space for interactions that are authentic, balanced, and mutually fulfilling. Without self-love, intimacy can become clouded by insecurity, fear, or the desire for validation, which limits the potential for genuine connection and shared passion. Self-love allows you to set healthy boundaries, both emotionally and physically. By recognizing what you deserve, you are better equipped to communicate your needs clearly and assertively. You are less likely to compromise your well-being for temporary approval or affection, and more likely to engage in relationships where mutual respect and understanding are present. This kind of self-awareness ensures that intimacy is not only pleasurable but also safe and nurturing for both partners. When you respect yourself, you naturally attract partners who respect and value you in return, creating a dynamic that is empowering and affirming. Moreover, self-love enhances your emotional availability. When you feel secure in your own identity, you are free to be vulnerable with others without fear of judgment or rejection. Vulnerability is the cornerstone of deep intimacy. It allows passion to flourish and emotional bonds to strengthen. By loving yourself, you cultivate patience, empathy, and emotional resilience, which are essential for navigating the complexities of any intimate relationship. Self-love also fuels confidence in desire and exploration. When you feel good about your body, your mind, and your emotions, you can approach intimacy with curiosity and openness rather than anxiety or self-consciousness. Pleasure becomes a shared celebration rather than a source of doubt or comparison. Ultimately, self-love is not selfish, it is foundational. It empowers you to engage fully and passionately, to connect deeply and meaningfully, and to build intimate experiences that are fulfilling for both you and your partner. By honoring yourself first, you create the conditions for intimacy that is vibrant, balanced, and unforgettable. Sex and intimacy are often surrounded by myths and unrealistic expectations that can create unnecessary pressure and anxiety. Society tends to portray sexual experiences as flawless performances or achievements to be measured, but the truth is far different. Real intimacy is not about perfection or adhering to scripted behaviors. It is about exploration, connection, and mutual enjoyment. When individuals release themselves from these rigid standards, they open the door to authentic experiences that are more satisfying, playful, and deeply fulfilling. The focus shifts from trying to perform correctly to discovering what brings pleasure, comfort, and closeness to both partners. Letting go of societal pressures means acknowledging that everyone's desires, preferences, and experiences are unique. There is no universal standard for what sex or intimacy should look like, and trying to conform to unrealistic ideals only creates stress and disconnection. Instead, intimacy should be seen as a collaborative journey where curiosity and openness are valued over judgment or comparison. By embracing this mindset, individuals and couples can experiment safely, communicate openly, and find ways to enhance pleasure and connection that are specific to their dynamic. This approach not only improves physical satisfaction, but also deepens emotional bonds, creating a richer, more meaningful experience overall. Mutual satisfaction is central to breaking these myths. Intimacy is not a one-sided act. It thrives when both partners feel heard, respected, and fulfilled. Open communication about desires, limits, and fantasies encourages exploration and builds trust, allowing each person to express themselves fully without fear of judgment. Playfulness, laughter, and shared discovery become essential elements of intimacy, reinforcing the idea that connection is more important than perfection. Embracing reality also involves accepting that awkward moments, mistakes, or unexpected experiences are natural and even beneficial. These moments offer opportunities to learn, grow, and connect more deeply with a partner. By shifting the perspective from achieving an idealized version of sex to celebrating the authentic, spontaneous, and pleasurable aspects of intimacy, individuals cultivate confidence, satisfaction, and a stronger sense of connection. Ultimately, sex and intimacy are about freedom, joy, and shared exploration. Letting go of myths and embracing reality allows both partners to fully enjoy the experience, create lasting memories, and strengthen the emotional and physical bonds that make relationships truly vibrant and fulfilling. Open and honest communication is one of the most powerful tools for creating fulfilling intimacy. Many people shy away from discussing their desires, boundaries, or fantasies because they fear judgment or embarrassment, but the truth is that talking openly about these topics is empowering, not awkward. When partners feel safe to express what they want and what makes them comfortable, they cultivate a dynamic of trust and mutual respect that strengthens both emotional and physical connection. Communication transforms intimacy from a series of assumptions and guesses into a shared experience of exploration, pleasure, and understanding. Discussing boundaries is essential for maintaining safety and respect in any intimate relationship. Being clear about what feels comfortable and what does not allows both partners to navigate intimacy confidently and without fear. Boundaries are not limitations. They are tools for building trust. When someone respects and honors your limits, it signals care and attentiveness, making the connection safer and more satisfying. Similarly, being attentive to your partner's boundaries demonstrates empathy and thoughtfulness, which deepens emotional intimacy and makes physical closeness more meaningful. Talking about desires and fantasies also enhances connection by opening doors to shared exploration. When partners feel comfortable expressing what excites them, they invite one another into a space of creativity, curiosity, and mutual pleasure. This level of openness encourages experimentation and discovery while reinforcing trust. Honest conversations about wants and needs ensure that intimacy is tailored to both individuals, increasing satisfaction and fostering a sense of partnership rather than one-sided fulfillment. Communication also strengthens emotional bonds. Sharing thoughts, feelings, and vulnerabilities creates an environment of acceptance where both partners feel valued and understood. This emotional safety enhances desire, making physical intimacy more passionate and connected. It also provides a foundation for resolving misunderstandings or conflicts, ensuring that intimacy remains positive and nurturing rather than tense or stressful. Ultimately, communication is more than just talking. It is a form of intimacy itself. Expressing desires, acknowledging boundaries, and exploring fantasies together builds trust, safety, and unforgettable experiences. When communication is open, honest, and ongoing, intimacy becomes not only more pleasurable, but profoundly meaningful, creating connections that are passionate, secure, and deeply satisfying.